That's good. Okay. So I'm sitting here trying to figure some stuff out, man. I got the JBL Xtreme 3. This bad boy is brand new for 2020, coming from JBL. It costs $350. $350, okay, for this thing right here, which is, it is what it is. It costs what it costs, right? But about a week ago, I actually did a video based on the Treblab HD Max. And this thing is, I mean, somebody in the comments said, are we not going to talk about the elephant in the room? Well, now I got both elephants in the room, and we're going to have to talk about them because this thing costs $200. And it makes you question, because it sounds good. I actually really enjoyed the speaker when I checked it out. And it sounds so good, it really made me question why someone would want to pay $150 more for more or the same. So let's go into the lab and check this out so we can figure out whether you need to spend $300 or $350. Yeah, $350. Dang, $350, okay, for the JBL Xtreme 3. Or maybe you might shop somewhere else and get you one for about $200. So let's go into the lab and see how this pans out. Let's do it. All right, now that we got these two bass titans in the building, it's time to get down to it, man. You know, sometimes you just pay a tax just because of a company's brand name. And you know what? Rightfully so, man. They earn the title, so they just charge whatever they want to charge. And in this regard, I'm really talking about companies like JBL and Sony. And I'm not crapping on JBL because I do believe they make great products. But you know, as a budget conscious kind of consumer that I am, I always question, like, just because this is the name brand or the bigger brand, does that make it better? Or just because it costs more, does it make it better? Now, don't get it twisted. This is an outstanding speaker. This thing is freaking awesome and it thumps hard. I will be doing a full video on it extremely soon. Extremely soon. You see what I did there? Nah, seriously, man, it's a great speaker. But to be honest with you, man, I feel like $350 is a lot of money, especially for a Bluetooth speaker of this size. I mean, I have a hard time spending $350 on the headphones I like, and I actually use those a lot more. So, you know, you have other brands such as Treblab. There's a whole bunch of other brands, but I got this one right here because this is the next biggest least expensive thing I got, like a direct comparison. And somebody actually said in the comment section of this video, the elephant in the room is this is like a direct competition to the JBL Xtreme 2 and 3. So instead of doing the 2, which is, you know, probably more in line with this one, I decided to do it with the most recent speaker, this comparison right here. So let's just get into it, man. Enough of the fluff. All right, so let's do a size comparison. Oh man, these are both freaking heavy, okay? Nice football size speakers, and you can see how they look right there, man. One of them has more of a kind of an oval shape, and the other one's more of a tube, but they both really do take on the same type of shape. They both have the bottom, it's a round profile, right? So you do worry about them rolling, and that's really not a problem. They both have these big footprints on the bottom right here. Can you see that right there? The big footprint. It's like a big bottom of a shoe on this one right here. But and this is the JBL. But you set them down. You know, I'm gonna go ahead and unclip these because these clips are gonna be making a ton of noise as I go through this video. And I'm gonna try to make it quick because it's really not that hard of a decision to make for me, at least. Maybe it is for you. And I'll be honest with you, I'm not gonna do any more sound comparisons. You got your sound comparison. My man, Willington DLX, he does great sound comparisons with speakers. So if you really wanna hear like some binaural stuff, check out his channel, man. He does fantastic work there. I'm here to just let you know that hey, if you want to spend the money, go for it. Do you, boo-boo. But if you kind of budget conscious, you might want to look elsewhere. So as I was saying, you don't have to worry about them rolling. You really do have to push on them in order to get them to roll. They're just going to sit right where they're supposed to because that footprint is wide enough to make it sit still. Now, as we get to the top, they are very similar. So on the top of the, let me back up a little bit. Dude, back up. You're really close there, buddy. Okay, so on the top of the Treblab, you have your power or multifunction, and then actually this is going to be, yeah, let's just call this power. And then you're going to have your volume up and track, and then you're going to have a play, which is also a multifunction, and then you have your volume up and track plus right here, all at the top. This is all the onboard controls you're going to get, okay? Now this button right here, the play button, this is also going to act as a sound changer. It has 3 sound profiles. One of them is a normal, one of them is more of a treble boost, and the other one is more of an outdoor mode, and it gives you a boost of like some ultra bass, okay? I did talk about that in the video I did for this. It's definitely an outdoor mode because it pulls the high tones back and pushes out more bass, and I really like that for outdoors because if you're outdoors and you got this thing cranked up, you're definitely going to want that bass. And if you're talking to people, you know, you don't want to have to compete with, you know, high sounds like, you know, voices and stuff like that. It doesn't completely cut out the voices. It's not designed to do that. What it does is it just emphasizes the bass more because you're outside, and that's where you will lose bass. So I really like that feature. It does not have app support, but you do have these 3 sound profiles built into the behind of that button or built into that button. And here's where you're going to find your auxiliary stuff. So if you open up the speaker booty right here, yep, that is the speaker booty. Open it up. If you plug in right there in that USB-A port, you can actually charge up your phone through that. And then you have your USB-C charging port, and it's going to take about 5 hours to charge this thing up. So let's close that speaker booty because it is fully charged. And then we're going to jump over here to the JBL Xtreme 3. And then we'll open up this speaker booty. Can we? Oh man, this thing is on tight. Okay, there we go. So you have pretty much the same stuff here, man. You got your USB-A to charge out your phone or any other device you have. And then you have a 3.5mm input right there. And then you have your USB charging right there, or USB-C charging. And this is going to take you about 2.5 hours to charge these things up. So they both will work as power banks, but they both differ in battery. So I took some notes, man. Where's my phone? Let me go get my phone. Okay, I got my phone. Now, I did take some notes, man. I wanted to see, like, what was the big deal as far as specs. You know, I don't really get into specs on this channel too much, but when we're talking about a price range or a price difference of $150 between the two, you gotta take a few notes, bro. So with the JBL, we got 15 hours of battery life here. 15 hours of thumping at your party outside, you know what I'm saying? Because this is an outdoor speaker, 15 hours with the 2.5 hour charge. And then with the JBL, we get 20 hours or up to 20 hours with this thing right here. Now, if you're playing them both at max volume, you're not gonna get these 15 and 20 hours. It is gonna be drastically reduced. So keep that in mind, okay? Now, when we talk about sound output, it's all gonna be relative. I'm gonna show you what I got here on paper. So the JBL, both of these speakers have 4 drivers in them, okay? But I'm gonna talk about the JBL, and they only give me the specs in wired mode, meaning you gotta have this thing plugged up to get this kind of power. You're gonna get 2 by 25 amp or watts coming out of the bigger speakers, the bigger drivers. I think they're 70mm on the drivers here. And then you got 2 tweeters cranking out 25 watts a piece, but that's in AC mode. You gotta have this thing plugged in to get that kind of power. With the Treblab, on battery, you're getting 2 by 25 and 2 by 10. So your subwoofers or your dynamic drivers are getting 25 watts, and then you're getting 10 watts. I'm sorry, yeah, 10 watts on your tweeters there. So I don't know what kind of power this is actually putting out. And I would assume that most people are buying this to use without being plugged in. So I don't even know why they tried to play me like that on this JBL speaker, man. That's just, you know, it's trying to gas me up. You know what I'm saying? Thinking I'm getting a full 25 watts even on battery. As far as outdoor ratings, you can take them both outside to play hard. This one right here is IPX6 and this one right here is IPX6.7, meaning that this one is fully submergible. Okay, it it's not gonna float, but it is definitely fully submergible. You don't have to worry about nothing. This one is like highly splash proof. It's just like just a little bit, I would not submerge this under, 3 meters of water, nothing like that, but you definitely can splash the crap out of it and get it wet. Now, I did bring this up earlier about the app. You do not get an app with the Treblab HD Max. However, you do get 3 sound modes. You do get an app with the JBL Xtreme 3. However, it is pretty much useless. The only thing the app is good for is seeing what your battery life is, as well as pairing it up with another speaker, because you can do true wireless stereo. You can also do true wireless stereo with the Treblab. It's just that they don't have an app for that. You just press the button to connect and bam, you're done. Here, you got to open up the app, or yeah, you can use this button right here. But yeah, the app is pretty much useless, man. They don't let you EQ nothing. It only has 1 sound, which is a great sound, by the way. It sounds good as is, and it really does not need to be changed. It sounds fantastic. It's just that, why have an app? When we talk about build quality, as you can see there, they're both pretty much built like tanks, man. It's just really up to you and your preference for aesthetics. They are both literally built like tanks. They have this woven material, this water or weather resistant material going around them, and the plastic is nice and sturdy, and it's got kind of a matte finish around it, same as on the JBL, man. Same fabric around here that's kind of water resistant or waterproof, I should say. Then you got your polyurethane stoppers right there to let out the, so you can just kind of sit it up like that if you want to, and I would, because it doesn't really sit up straight, but you can let that bass out of there on the corner, because it's got these little slits right here. But yeah, man, it's definitely drop resistant. I would not be dropping either one of these from, really high up, because they are heavy and all that weight is gonna do some serious damage. You're gonna get a carrying strap with both of them. They're both really nice nylon straps. This is the JBL. It's got a nice touch to it, man. It's got some, that JBL kind of smoke gray or, dark gray with the orange. I really like that color scheme. Got some JBL branding right there. It is a nice carabiner or clippity clip right there. Then you have this, your adjustment slider with a built-in, bottle opener, just in case you want to pop a few while you're out throwing your party. It's built into the strap and I really love it. But we also have the same thing going on with the Treblab. So you have a pretty much a standard hook. They didn't go all crazy and spend the extra money on the branding and fancy colors and stuff like that. However, you do get a really nice strap with some branding in this nylon. It's upside down, but I'll show it to you there. There you go. Okay. But then you also get this built-in bottle opener here. So it doesn't matter, man. You can get tipsy with both of these speakers, man. They're giving you a bottle opener with both speakers. Just that way you can get tipsy while you're getting your party on. On both of the speakers, hooking in the strap, it is kind of cumbersome, but it is slightly easier with the Treblab just because of this higher raised design they have here and the style of the hook they have. It just goes in a little bit easier, and they're both pretty cumbersome, but this one just goes in a lot easier, okay? Now, with the JBL, it is a little bit harder, but you can see right here, obviously they just kind of look better to me. They look like real industrial type rings, but you can get it in there. It's just not as easy. It's a little bit more cumbersome because it's not raised as high. Yeah, there you go. Okay, so you can get that in there. It's just a little bit more cumbersome. I don't know if you're ever going to take it off once you actually put it on, but I just thought I'd point that out because that annoyed me at first. But for all intents and purposes, man, they are kind of like, the same speaker. They both get extremely loud. Unless you're doing a super nitpicky detail side-by-side comparison, and I do mean nitpicky detail side-by-side comparison, you probably would not be able to tell the two apart. At the beginning of the video, could you really hear like a vast difference between the two? I'm not even gonna put up which one was which. You could probably tell by the way I was pointing, but they sound very similar. And given that this one has 3 different sound modes, that's just an added bonus for me. For a guy like me who wants to be in different environments, that's just me personally. Plus, I'm budget conscious. So you tell me, man, what would you rather, if you had, let's say you got $400, because I actually bought this thing, man. This was like 378 or 380 something bucks after tax and stuff like that. So let's say you got $400, okay? You got $400 in your pocket. And all of a sudden you say, you know what? I want a Bluetooth speaker. And then I just showed you this one right here. Okay, I just showed you the Treblab and I showed you the JBL. You got 400 bucks. Do you spend most of it on this one, or do you spend half of it on this one? So do you spend 200 and let's say 220 on this one right here, or 380 on this one right here? That's totally up to you, man. Me personally, after hearing and experiencing both, I truly would rather say, I'm just being straight up honest with you guys. After hearing both of these speakers, man, I'm gonna save my extra 150 bucks. Wait a minute. Yeah, I keep thinking it's 300. It's 350 with taxes, like 380 bucks. I would save that money personally. This is just me and my personal finances. I'm all about this Treblab speaker, man, because it's a great speaker. But then again, I don't need to submerge it in the pool. You know what I mean? That might be a big concern of yours, submerging it in the pool or taking it out to the lake or something like that. This one doesn't do that, whereas this one does, okay? You might be that audiophile guy who really nitpicks about like fine details in hertz, okay? This one does not, as far as hertz go, this one does not have a as broad of a range, just by a little bit, as this one does. And to me, that's okay, because all I'm doing is cranking this thing up and having a good time. But who am I, man? I am no expert in this kind of stuff. I'm just sitting here trying to save us all a little bit of money. I love JBL products, but you know, sometimes I look at these products and I think to myself, why does this cost so much? It doesn't make sense when something, you know, exists that is just as good and it just costs less. So, hey man, I gotta get out of here. But until I get back, y'all make sure y'all keep being good to each other, and I'll see you when I see you. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Let me get this straight. You sat through this whole video, the whole thing, and never once decided to hit the subscribe button or the like button? Man, it'd be the ones closest to you. I'll see how you are.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?